Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to Mission today. I'm Kevin, and today we're back to our first World War topic. So, because I'm sick today, so maybe sometime I need to stop to dealing with my throat. So, yeah, it's going to be a little bit of delay while I'm talking. And our topic today is about the visions of the world. Of course, in our last topic, we already talked about some soldiers that have their stories, and the stories was made by the artists, by the poems, by the movie. But that is not just enough to describe how that the artist took place in the First World War. Instead of just soldiers, many artists have served as soldiers during the war. They are not fighters, but they want to be. Some governments even employ official war artists, which means that the people who do the photograph job are filmmakers to keep a visual record of the war. And of course, the artists that have served as the soldiers during the war made poems or film to talk about their stories. But that is not the history in its true self. That is just the stories of their own life, of the artist's life, and because they want to tell it back to people they want to hear, to meet, so they create those products. But there are a special, there are a special part of the world that is the official world artist hired by the government to make films and to make historical products that record a visual and also good way to look back of the First World War. But some of the most powerful images of the world were produced after the fighting had ended, not in real life, but just by imaginations. So there is a question that why does the record, the film, the things that they took from the world itself, how that a man falls down, how that the artillery shot, how fire, smoke, and blood spread all over the world, are not good compared to a product that was made by imaginations. So this is because of the things that I talked with you guys before. That is the censor. So taking pictures in the trenches was difficult and dangerous as well. So the artists, also filmmakers and photographers, not having so many chance to take a real and close look at how intense and terrible did the world went. And of course, so there are very few pictures that show the intensity of the battle. Many images of dead soldiers also being censored or destroyed because they are too horrific. In respect for the soldiers' families and to keep the morale strong at the country homeland, the government sometimes destroys the information and pictures that is too terrible. Is too terrible, and also showing the let's say meaningless face and also merciless of the world. So those that were print in newspaper, the pictures, the stories, or even poems that were usually showed the lonely corpse in no man's land, or one or two bodies tangled with each other and sprawled in a trench. Because the government, anyway, even when they are poems, even when they are stories or pictures, they always want their homeland to have a strong morale, and also they want to keep the families of the soldiers have their respect, and also want to let their country feel like they are safe. So the information, the pictures, and the things that the official artists that were tied by the government when they took them, and that things is too harsh and too merciless, yeah, is too cold compared to what could appear on newspaper. The government will go to destroy it. So after the censors, some photographers were too determined to show the terror and truth of the battle, and they don't accept that the government destroy or take those who, yeah, those pictures. That is not, yeah, that is too bad and too horrific. So they come to another solutions, that is bending the truth. So there is once an Australian artist named Frank Hurley. He blended the image of explosions, soldiers, and planes into a single photo. Try hard to make it look as terrible as possible, and make to let the, yeah, viewers see and feel like the man falls and die in a horrific way. So the critics, after seeing this product, has attacked the colleges and called Hurley a fake artist. But his pictures are still among the most powerful, yeah, message of the world, and is very famous. There is another thing, that is the cinematography. It was a new art at the start of the 20th century, but this didn't stop the British filming their big push at the Somme, combining real footage of the infantry leaving the trenches with stage action scenes. The Battle of Somme was a film that had a massive hit when it was released on August 1960, but it showed very few of the horrors of the war. Charlie Chaplin's Soldiers Arms product has took a more comic approach to the fighting. Playing an awkward American soldier, Chaplin disguised himself as a tree to spy behind the enemy like an the enemy lines, and ended the conflict by kidnapping the Kaiser. And of course, as I said, this product of the artist named Charlie Chaplin is just the product of imaginations. And because of that, so the end of the film was the war ended by the main character, which is Chaplin disguised himself as a tree, kidnapped the Kaiser successfully. But of course, in real life, there's no thing said like that. So there is another artist come from Germany named Otto Dix. He was a German painter who had volunteered to fight in the First World War. Hungry for the adventure, he won the medals for his bravery. But after the war, the sickness and the the sickness and also the horrific of the war has haunted him. The war always appeared in his nightmare, and that's why he decided to change the style in his art. So Dix began painting the male ex-servicemen he saw that's begging on the streets after the war ended. And to many people, Dix's product is a very bad reminder of the dark past, which is the First World War time. But this German artist believed and determined that everybody should not be allowed to ignore their continued suffering, and they cannot ignore the pain and how the life treats the ex-servicemen, even when they are the one who protect their homeland. Alright, so that's all I want to talk to you guys today about how the official artists give out another visions of the world decide with the artists joined into the army and the soldiers with the bare hand themselves. Alright, so that's all I want to talk to you guys today. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.